Hey everybody, it's Summoner Respiratory Flux. Call me Flux for short, or whatever you want to call me. In the last episode, we finished the Gerudo Training Grounds. In this episode, I'm going to say no to horseback archery. And we have business to take care of at the Temple of Time. Now, if you travel to the Temple of Time with the Prelude of Light, it actually kind of makes the scene that plays a little bit silly, so I'm not sure if I really wanted to be doing this, but it's honestly the best way to do it. Because they give you a song to go back to the Temple of Time anyway. But you run in. I have been waiting for you, Link. Link, the hero of time. You have overcome many hardships and awakened 6 sages. And now you have a final challenge, a showdown with Ganondorf, the King of Evil. Before that, I have things I want to tell only to you. Please listen. Another unknown legend of the Triforce passed down by the Shadow Folk, the Sheikahs. If you would seek the Sacred Triangle, listen well. The resting place of the Sacred Triangle, the Sacred Realm, is a mirror that reflects what is in the heart. The heart of one who enters it. If an evil heart, the realm will become full of evil. If pure, the realm will become a paradise. The Triforce, the Sacred Triangle, it is a balance that weighs the 3 forces: power, wisdom, and courage. If the heart of the one who holds the Sacred Triangle has all 3 forces in balance, that one will gain the true force to govern all. But if that one's heart is not in balance, the Triforce will separate into 3 parts: power, wisdom, and courage. Only one part will remain for the one who touched the Triforce, the part representing the force that one most believes in. Sorry. If that one seeks the true force, that one must acquire the 2 lost parts. Those 2 parts will be held within others chosen by destiny, who will bear the Triforce mark on the backs of their hands. "7 years ago, Ganondorf, the King of Thieves, used the door you opened in the Temple of Time and entered the Sacred Realm. But when he laid his hands on the Triforce, the legend came true. The Triforce separated into 3 parts. Only the Triforce of Power remained in Ganondorf's hand. The strength of the Triforce of Power enabled him to become a mighty evil king, but his dark ambitions were not satisfied. To gain complete mastery of the world, Ganondorf started looking for those chosen by destiny to hold the 2 other Triforce parts. The one who holds the Triforce of Courage is you, Link. And the other, who holds the Triforce of Wisdom, is the 7th Sage, who is destined to be the leader of them all. And look who it is. It is I, the Princess of Hyrule, Zelda. I apologize for meeting you in disguise, but it was necessary to hide from the King of Evil. Please forgive me. On that day, 7 years ago, Ganondorf attacked Hyrule Castle. I saw you as I was escaping from the castle with my attendant, Impa. I thought I should entrust the Ocarina to you. I thought that would be our best chance. As long as you had the Ocarina in your possession, I thought Ganondorf could never enter the Sacred Realm, but something I could never expect happened. After you opened the Door of Time, the Master Sword sealed you away in the Sacred Realm. Your spirit remained in the Sacred Realm, and then the Triforce fell into Ganondorf's hands. He went on to invade the Sacred Realm. Ganondorf had become the evil king, and the Sacred Realm became a world of evil. All of this is an unfortunate coincidence. I passed myself off as a Sheikah and hoped that you would return. I waited for 7 years. And now you are back. The Dark Age ruled by Ganondorf the Evil King will end. The 6 sages will open the sealed door and lure Ganondorf back into the Sacred Realm. I will then seal the door to the Sacred Realm from this world. Thus, Ganondorf the Evil King will vanish from Hyrule. Link, in order to do this, I need your courage again. Please protect me while I do my part. And here is a weapon that can penetrate the Evil King's defenses, the power given to the Chosen Ones. The Sacred Arrow of Light. You got the light arrow. Set it to C and your arrows will be powered up. The light of justice will smite evil. Interestingly, these are basically equivalent to the silver arrows from the older games. But what's this? That rumbling. It can't be. Princess Zelda, you foolish traitor. I commend you for avoiding my pursuit for 7 long years. But you let your guard down. I knew you would appear if I let this kid wander around. My only mistake was to slightly underestimate the power of this kid. No, it was not the kid's power I misjudged. It was the power of the Triforce of Courage. But with the Triforce of Wisdom that Zelda has, when I obtain these 2 Triforces, then I will become the true ruler of the world. If you want to rescue Zelda, come to my castle. We have the light arrows, but Zelda has been kidnapped. I would say once again, but she hasn't actually ever been kidnapped at this point in the game. But she gets kidnapped almost every game in the series anyway, so... But this Zelda hasn't. I'm gonna stop here while I'm ahead. Anyway. But, with that, we have our full inventory. Notice that the light arrow takes more magic to actually use than the fire arrow and ice arrows do, but not as much as the spells do. And also Nehru's Love takes more magic to use than Roar's Wind or Din's Fire do. I don't know. It's an interesting thought, but anyway. With all that said and done, we have no place left to go but to try to head to Ganon's castle. And I have to say, the plot twist of Sheik actually being Zelda in disguise is really widely known by this point. But this whole scene at the end of the game is actually pretty great, honestly, in my opinion. It kind of sets the scope of the final battle. It's like you're finally going on to take on Ganon's castle. But not just for the sake of doing it. For the sake of rescuing the princess. And it just kind of... It's an escalation of the stakes that this game really needs, because Ganon already took over the world, so the stakes were not really particularly high for most of the temples. You were just going to awaken the sages. But now the stakes have been raised. We have to go to Ganon's castle. Link, can you hear me? It's Rauru, the sage. We six will gather our power to create a bridge to the castle where Ganondorf dwells. The castle's keep, which is known as Ganon's Tower, is protected by 6 evil barriers. Bring down the 6 barriers and save Princess Zelda. I like that tentative step onto the bridge. But yeah, we now have a bridge to enter Ganon's Tower for the first time. It's been a long time. A long time coming. I never really realized you could actually step out onto this edge of this floating island. But I guess you can. This is probably not advisable, because now I'm probably going to have to jump into the fiery brine below. Or not. But yeah. Why don't we head into Ganon's castle? Now, there are... This opening hallway is interesting. Don't even bother fighting the Beamos. They're just there to annoy you. But when you come into here, what you find is interesting. There is a bridge here, but you can't get into the tower at the center. In order to access the tower, there are 6 barriers here. One corresponding to each of the medallions that you've gathered over the course of the adventure, interestingly enough. And by deactivating all of the barriers in all 6 wings of the castle keep, you can access the tower and take on Ganondorf once and for all. Now, before I start going into any of these, you can't really do them in any particular major order. You can kind of go through them as you wish, in whatever order. But there are some things that you have to do in some before you can get to others. Or rather, one thing that you have to do in one before you can get through a few of the other wings. But you do have options to start with, so that's at least good. But there's one secret in this area that's worth noting. If you go underneath the entrance and go through this wall, there's actually a hidden room here with a bunch of business scrubs and fairies. So you can actually catch and use fairies. You can also buy arrows, potions, any sort of supplies that you would need from these business scrubs if you want to restock without having to leave the dungeon completely. It's a nice little touch, and I feel like it's pretty widely known, but not universally so. So it's actually really cool that they just have that in the game. Unfortunately, there's no equivalent secret room on the opposite side of the tower. But with that, we now have a task before us here in Ganon's castle to disable the 6 barriers to enter the tower. I know this was a short episode, but next time on The Legend of Zelda. This is not The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. I haven't played that game at all lately. Why was I going to say that? I don't know. The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. We take on Ganon's castle. See you guys then. Respond, vibrate, feedback, resonate in the comments below. All that stuff. So see you then.